Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel Daikokuten. In this video we will know what if Naruto had the power of Shinigami and become the demon savior. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also mention which part of the episode you liked the most in the comments. So without much delay, let's start.
Let's begin the story. Naruto dropped down into the middle of the clearing that his silver-haired instructor, Mizuki, had told him to meet him at after stealing the scroll from the Hokage's tower. He was panting slightly as he had ran as fast as humanly possible to evade the Anbu squads and Junin that were ordered to find him. Why would there be Anbu and Junin after me just for a test? Something's not right. In any case, I better start learning a jutsu from the scroll before Mizuki-sensei arrives. Naruto thought as he dropped the huge scroll onto the ground and unrolled it. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Shadow Clone Technique. Seems easy enough to me, just form a cross-shaped hand seal and channel chakra into it. Let's see, clones formed are solid and user retains any memories the clone has. Sounds ideal for training. Naruto cracked his hands before forming a cross-shaped hand seal. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. He whispered as several puffs of smoke appeared around the clearing. The smoke cleared to reveal 5 identical Narutos standing around the original. Naruto went over to one of the clones and scrutinized it before raising a hand and poking it. He let out a grin upon discovering it was indeed solid. Yada. I can do a clone jutsu now. Mizuki-sensei sure has to pass me for that. Naruto exclaimed before looking back at the scroll. If I learn an extra jutsu, then Mizuki-sensei could give me extra marks for the test. So Naruto walked back to the scroll and started flipping through it. A few different techniques did catch his eye, but he decided against learning them for various reasons. Next, Kuchiyose. Edo Tensai, Summoning. Impure World Resurrection. A technique invented by the Naidem Hokage that allows the user to summon the dead back to the realm of the living. Perform the hand seals tiger, snake, dog, dragon and then clap your hands. Technique requires sacrifices. No way I'm learning this. Naruto looked at the technique in disgust, wondering why the Naidem created such a technique. Alright, next one. Shiki Fujin, Dead Demon Consuming Seal. Allows the user to summon the Shinigami to seal away something or someone into a vessel at the cost of the summoner's life. Lame. Naruto deadpanned as he flipped to the next entry. Bunkatsu Seigen. Souryu no Maji, Limit Break. Soul Merge. This technique fuses the dark and light, also known as the yin and yang opposing halves of the soul, together. Labeled a kinjutsu because even though the user becomes extremely powerful, their personality can sometimes undergo a complete change. Hand seals are snake, tiger, dragon, boar, monkey and hold in ram seal while channeling chakra. Naruto grinned as this technique sounded interesting. He practiced going through each hand seal slowly so as to not mess up. I've found you, a panting Iruka said as he dropped down in front of a surprised Naruto, who just grinned and pointed at him with 2 fingers. Hey! I found the nosebleeder, Naruto exclaimed. Baka! I found you! Iruka shouted, using the technique that inflates your head before calming down and staring at Naruto. He, you found me, but I've managed to learn 2 different jutsus from the scroll. Now you will have to let me graduate, right, Iruka-sensei? Naruto looked at the Chunin instructor in excitement. Naruto, where did you get that scroll from? Iruka asked seriously. Oh, this thing. Naruto pointed at the huge scroll. Mizuki-sensei told me about the secret graduation test. He said I had to steal this scroll from the Hokage tower and meet him here. He said that if I learned a jutsu from this scroll and showed you, then I would definitely be able to graduate. Mizuki. Wah, look out. Iruka shoved Naruto out of the way and was hit by the hail of kunai that came their way, the impact sending him skidding into the wooden shack behind him. Nice job finding the moron. Iruka and Naruto turned in the direction of the voice to find Mizuki crouching on a tree branch with 2 Fuma shuriken attached to his back. I see, so that's what's going on. Iruka grabbed his side in pain as he spat some blood out of his mouth. Naruto, give me the scroll if you want to graduate, Mizuki shouted at the confused boy. Huh, what? What the hell is going on here? Naruto looked from Iruka to Mizuki in confusion. Naruto. Whatever happens here, don't give Mizuki the scroll. Iruka shouted suddenly. That's a dangerous scroll that contains forbidden ninjutsu inside it. Mizuki used you to get his hands on it. Naruto, there's no point in you having the scroll. I will tell you the truth now. Mizuki smirked at the shocked look on both Iruka's and Naruto's faces. And no. Don't, Iruka yelled, but Mizuki just ignored him. 12 years ago, when the Kyuubi attacked the village, remember how the demon fox was defeated by the Yondaime Hokage, right? Mizuki asked him. He nodded his head. Well, on that day a special rule was created for this village, but this rule was never meant to be told to you. Mizuki inwardly grinned at the look on Naruto's face. Why not me? What is this rule? Tell me. Naruto demanded, causing Mizuki to let out a dark chuckle. What kind of rule is it? The rule that the Sandaime made was that nobody is allowed to talk about the fact that you are the Kyuubi no Yoko, nine-tailed demon fox. Mizuki pointed at him. What? Naruto stammered as his eyes widened in disbelief. What do you mean by that? Stop it, Mizuki. Iruka shouted, but was ignored once again. It means that you are in fact the Kyuubi no Yoko that killed Iruka's parents and destroyed the village. You were sealed up by the Hokage you admire so much and, Mizuki explained slowly. Stop it. Iruka desperately tried to prevent Mizuki from continuing. You have been lied to by everyone. Mizuki grinned in triumph. Didn't you find it odd that everyone hates you and how you were ignored and denied even the most basic necessities? Naruto clenched his fists as he closed his eyes and tears started flowing out of them. Iruka is the same as the rest of them. He may act friendly towards you, but on the inside, he hates you as well. Mizuki unlatched the gigantic shuriken from his back and started spinning it with his hand. Naruto had his eyes closed so he didn't notice, but Iruka did and reflected on the words the Sandaime had said to him. Naruto has never known a parent's love and all the villagers hate him, so to get the attention he desires, he causes all sorts of mischief and mayhem. He wants the people to acknowledge his existence in any possible way. He acts tough and indifferent, but he is really suffering on the inside. Ah! Naruto had felt someone push him onto the ground and opened his eyes to see Iruka crouching over him, the giant shuriken that had been meant for him stuck in his back. Naruto looked at him in shock as Iruka's sweat and blood dripped onto his cheek and trailed down his whisker like birthmarks. Mizuki sneered from his perch. Why? Naruto whispered as he looked at his teacher. My parents, after they died, there was nobody to compliment or acknowledge me. I always acted like an idiot or a clown, just to get people's attention since I wasn't good at learning or doing homework. It was better than being nothing, so I kept acting like an idiot. It was so painful. Iruka replied as tears started cascading down his face. Naruto, you must have also been in a lot of pain. I'm sorry, Naruto. If I only did a better job, then you wouldn't have to feel like this. Naruto couldn't take any more and started running away. Naruto. He. Naruto isn't the type of person to have a change of heart, and I think he's planning to use the scroll to get revenge. You saw those eyes earlier, the eyes of a real demon. Mizuki said as he jumped down from his spot on the branch and landed near Iruka, who pulled out the giant shuriken from his back with a grunt. Naruto, isn't like that. Iruka panted out. Well, that doesn't really matter. I'll kill Naruto and get the scroll before coming back to deal with you later. Mizuki leapt away from Iruka in the direction that Naruto fled to. Ah! Iruka coughed out some blood as he tried to pursue Mizuki. No, damn it. Another part of the forest. Naruto. Hurry up and give me the scroll. Mizuki is after you. Iruka shouted as he spotted Naruto jumping from tree to tree in front of him. Naruto shifted direction suddenly and slammed his shoulder into Iruka's stomach, causing him to slam into the ground as Naruto collapsed at the base of a tree. Why, Naruto? Iruka gasped out before he vanished in a cloud of smoke, revealing that it was really Mizuki in a henge. How did you know I wasn't Iruka? He. Naruto chuckled before vanishing in a cloud of smoke, revealing a smirking Iruka. I'm Iruka. I see. Mizuki said with a dark smile. The real Naruto was actually hiding behind a tree trunk near them and could hear them. He. You'd even transform into what killed your parents to protect him. I won't hand over the scroll to someone like you, Iruka shouted defiantly. You idiot. Naruto and I are the same, Mizuki replied, causing Naruto to frown behind the tree. What are you saying? Iruka glared at him. If you use the skills written in that scroll, you can do whatever you want. Unlike what you're assuming, there's no way that Demon Fox wouldn't try to use that scroll to gain more power, Mizuki exclaimed. Yeah, Iruka whispered, causing Naruto to clench his fists. I knew it. See, even Iruka-sensei deep down doesn't acknowledge me. Naruto thought before he looked up sharply at what he heard next. The demon fox would do that. But Naruto is different. He is one of my excellent students. He may not be the hardest worker and he is clumsy and no one accepts him. He already knows what it is to feel pain inside your heart. He isn't the demon fox. He is a member of Konohagakure no Sato. He's Uzumaki Naruto. Iruka glared at Mizuki defiantly. Naruto felt tears run down his face as he heard his teacher acknowledge him. Well, whatever. Mizuki sneered as he took his remaining Fuma shuriken in hand. Iruka grunted as a sudden spike of pain shot through his body. Iruka, I said I would take care of you later but I changed my mind. Hurry up and die. Mizuki screamed out as he spun the giant shuriken in his hand and dashed at the injured Iruka, who just smiled slightly at his impending doom. Before Mizuki could reach Iruka, an orange blur shot out from behind a tree and rammed Mizuki in the chin with his knee, causing the giant shuriken to slam into a random tree. Iruka looked at Naruto in shock as he landed in front of him after sending Mizuki skidding across the forest floor. You shouldn't have done that. Mizuki growled as he spat out some blood and stood back up. Don't touch Iruka-sensei, you piece of trash, or I'll kill you. Naruto glared at Mizuki. You idiot. Why did you come out? Iruka shouted but was ignored by the two. Ha ha ha. I'll kill someone like you in one shot, Mizuki exclaimed. Try it. I dare you. I'll show you what I've learned from the scroll. Naruto ran through the hand seals. Snake, tiger, dragon, boar, monkey and finally ram. Then do it, demon fox. Mizuki shouted. Bunkatsu Seigen, Saoryu no Maji, Naruto called out as he channeled his chakra into the ram seal but suddenly doubled over in pain as red, blue and black chakra tendrils suddenly surrounded him. What the hell? Ha ha ha. Trust someone like you to not know what a jutsu does before using it. Now die. Mizuki drew a kunai and charged at Naruto but was suddenly blown away by a shockwave of power. Bunkatsu Seigen, Saoryu no Maji. I've heard of this jutsu. It was created by the Shodem Hokage. Apparently he figured out that everyone's soul is split in two parts, the yin and yang, light and dark. So the jutsu combines both aspects into one. This grants the user double their power and chakra at the risk of losing their original personality. Iruka thought as he witnessed Naruto being swallowed up into a dome of swirling red, blue and black chakra. So what the heck is happening? Naruto's mindscape drip, drip, drip. Naruto opened his eyes to find that he wasn't in the forest surrounding Konoha anymore. Instead he was in a strange sewer-like dungeon with a huge metal gate in front of him. He leapt backward in shock as two sinister crimson eyes appeared behind the metal gate, followed by a mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth. Boy, do you know what you have done? The strange figure behind the gate asked in a loud booming voice. You're the Kyuubi, aren't you? Naruto gaped as the Kyuubi moved forward slightly, revealing its blood-red fur and 9 tails fanned out behind it. Yes boy, I am indeed the Kyuubi, or was, Kyuubi growled. What do you mean? Naruto asked with a puzzled expression. That jutsu you used was not meant to be used by people like you, a Jinchuriki, since you have an extra soul inside you. Normally I would be absorbed into you, never to be seen again, but your father's seal saved me from that. Kyuubi explained. Wait a minute, my father? The Yondaime is my father and he stuck me with this burden? Naruto yelled in outrage. Unfortunately yes, now as I was saying. The seal is powered by a soul shard of the Shinigami, and it is that instead of my soul that is being absorbed into you. Kyuubi used a tail to point at the trail of black chakra emanating from the seal tag. That explains the black chakra but not the red one, Naruto mused aloud. The red-colored chakra is mine. Although my soul has been spared, the technique still claimed something from me, and that is my power. I will eventually regain my power, but that would take a few years at least. So you will become a demon Shinigami hybrid by the time this jutsu is over. I won't be human anymore. Naruto whispered. No, but isn't being a demon with the power of the Shinigami much better than that? Kyuubi asked, causing Naruto to think about it a while. I guess that makes sense, and the only person whose opinion I give a damn about is Iruka-sensei. Hold up. Then what happens to you? Naruto looked back at the Kyuubi. I will be released from the seal since it will be absorbed into you except without a single tail of power. Kyuubi answered simply. Oh, I see. However, I would like something in compensation for my power, Kyuubi said suddenly. Well, that depends on what you're asking. Naruto trailed off as he waited. Nothing much. Just that you take me as your mate. Kyuubi started transforming at the end of the sentence and went from a gigantic demon fox to a beautiful woman within the span of a second. Kyuubi had blood-red hair that fell freely down her back all the way to her shapely rear. She had long-toned legs and firm C-cup S. Her pupils were a stunning crimson with a black vertical slit running through them. She had a pair of orange fox ears on her head as well as 9 orange tails emerging from the area above her ass. Naruto pinched his nose tightly to prevent himself from suffering a major nosebleed at the sight of the beautiful and wide demoness in front of him. Why would you want me as your mate? Naruto asked once he had gotten himself under control but still blushed as he tried to avert his eyes from the body of Kyuubi. Don't be mistaken. I am a demon and we are attracted to power, and you will be the most powerful thing to walk this planet in a few minutes. You will understand once you absorb my power completely. Kyuubi smirked. Don't worry. You will be able to take other females as your mates as well, as long as you get my approval first. What? Naruto shouted in surprise. It is common practice for male demons of great strength to have multiple mates to ensure their legacy lives on through their children. Kyuubi explained simply. Fine. I guess I can do that. Naruto conceded to Kyuubi's request before suddenly collapsing on the sewer floor in pain. Looks like the jutsu is about to be finished. See you on the outside, Naru-kun. Kyuubi cooed as they both faded from the mindscape. Back in the forest, Mizuki regained consciousness in time to see the multicolored dome turn purple in color before withdrawing back into a tall male figure holding a slimmer female figure in his arms. Naruto. Iruka asked in disbelief. What's up, sensei? Just sit there while I deal with the trash. Naruto's voice had deepened, but that was not all that changed. Naruto had shot up from a measly 1.45 meters to an impressive 1.7 meters. His once short, spiky blonde hair now resembled his father's but had black streaks running through it. His original sky blue pupils were now amethyst in color and had a vertical black slit running through it. His whisker-like birthmarks seemed to have darkened and all traces of baby fat were gone from his face. Instead of the horrible orange jumpsuit he always wore, he was now garbed in a black kimono top and matching black hakama pants with a crimson haori over the shirt. He also had a sheathed katana attached to his left hip. I'll be right back, Q-chan. Naruto whispered to the demoness, who was now clothed in a black yukata with crimson sash, as he placed her at the base of a tree. Just call me Akane. Kyuubi, now known as Akane, told him as he nodded in acknowledgement before walking towards Mizuki. I knew it. You are a demon. Mizuki shouted in glee as he threw a barrage of shuriken at the approaching figure of Naruto, who merely drew his katana from its sheath and deflected all of them. No, I'm not a demon, I am more powerful than that. Naruto replied calmly as Mizuki finally ran out of shuriken and kunai. He approached the traitor who had backed up against a tree. Lies. I will kill you now and the village will proclaim me a hero. Mizuki laughed insanely as he jumped up and attempted to hit Naruto with a rising uppercut, but Naruto just caught his wrist with his left hand. If you want a demon, I will show you how demonic I can be. Naruto growled as he used one hand and threw Mizuki upwards before sheathing his katana and leaping up after him. Just as he was about to reach Mizuki, Naruto drew his katana in a wide horizontal slash. Kuroryu no Josho. Black Dragons Rise. Naruto called out as he landed on a tree branch and Mizuki's body separated in a bloody shower at the waist. Akane eyed her at the display of power while Iruka watched in awe at how much power Naruto had gained just after performing that jutsu. Iruka-sensei, are you alright? Naruto asked the Chunin instructor, who snapped out of his stupor at the mention of his name. Just need to get these wounds bandaged up and I'll be fine. Iruka grunted before looking Naruto over once again. More importantly, what happened to you? I will answer any questions you have later, just let me heal your wounds first. Naruto's hand glowed purple and Iruka watched in amazement as the wounds stitched up and healed themselves. That was amazing, Naruto. Now about that explanation and who that lady is. Iruka asked. You will have to wait a while, sensei. That old sack of bones, also known as the Hokage, would have watched the entire thing through his crystal ball. So we would be called into his office anyway, where I will explain everything. A squad of Anbu appeared just as Naruto finished his sentence. Naruto, Iruka-san, Hokage-sama has called for the both of you to meet him in his office with the Forbidden Scroll now. A Neko-masked Anbu said. Thank you for informing us, Neko-chan. Come on, Iruka-sensei, Akane-chan. We wouldn't want to keep Hokage-sama waiting now, would we? Naruto picked up Akane bridal style and stood next to Iruka before all three of them sunk into a shadow portal that formed below their feet. Hokage Tower Sarutobi Hiruzen was not having a good day. He sighed tiredly and rubbed his wrinkled temples. First he had to deal with endless piles of paperwork. Just as he was about to complete them, Naruto burst into his office and knocked him out with that stupid technique of his and made off with the forbidden scroll. As he thought his day couldn't get any worse, he watched through his crystal ball as Mizuki informed Naruto about the Kyuubi and the events that occurred after it. He tensed slightly as a swirling shadow portal appeared in the middle of his office but relaxed slightly when Naruto, Iruka and that girl that was with Naruto appeared from it. Naruto, what the hell was that? Iruka gasped out, slightly pale from the technique. That was known as Kage no Ryoko, shadow traveling. I can transport myself and people around me using the shadows as a medium. Naruto explained as he took a seat and Akane sat on his lap, causing Iruka and the Sandame to cough slightly. Well, Naruto-kun, care to explain what happened out there? Hiruzen asked as he took a puff of his pipe. That jutsu caused me to fuse with not only my dark self but Kyuubi's power as well as the soul shard of the Shinigami that was used to power the seal. So I now have the powers of Kyuubi and the Shinigami as well as their memories on how to use all their techniques, which makes me a demon with Shinigami powers. Naruto replied, simply causing Iruka to go wide-eyed and the Hokage to cough as he accidentally inhaled some of his pipe's smoke. Okay, who is this lovely lady then? Hiruzen gestured to the red-haired lady occupying Naruto's lap. This is Akane-chan, also known as the former Kyuubi no Yoko and my mate. Naruto put his arms around Akane as she leaned back into his embrace. What? Hiruzen and Iruka shouted at the same time. After the jutsu did what it did, the seal fell apart and released a now powerless Akane back into the world. Naruto smirked slightly at the pout on his mate's face.
And the mate part? Iruka asked. Akane asked that in exchange for taking her power that I take her as my mate as well, so I did. Naruto had a full-blown smirk now as he watched the two men sigh and rub their heads.
Only you, Naruto. Only you could give me such a big headache all in the span of a day. Hiruzen groaned before a sudden crushing force filled the room. Both Iruka and the Sandame had trouble breathing as they looked to the source to find a poker-faced Naruto looking straight at the Hokage. Tell me, when did you exactly plan on telling me that I had Akane-chan sealed inside me? Naruto said softly as Akane got up with a grin and walked to a corner of the office and leaned on the wall there to watch the show. I didn't plan on telling you. I wanted you to live as normal a life as possible, the old Hokage replied, causing killing intent to join the crushing force. Normal? My life was never normal, so tell me, why did you not tell me about my burden? Naruto roared in his demonic voice as black and purple chakra swirled around him. I believed that if you did not know of the Kyuubi's existence then she would not be able to influence your actions. Hiruzen finally admitted. So you believed that if I had known about Akane-chan, I would have been influenced by her? He. Do you have that little faith in my father's seal? When did you plan on telling me that little piece of information, huh? Naruto had approached the Hokage's desk as he spoke and slammed a fist on it, shattering it under his strength. How did you find out? Hiruzen stuttered as his face paled while Iruka had a look of shock on his face. Akane-chan informed me of it, so what's your stupid excuse this time? Naruto glared at the Hokage, who did his best not to flinch at the amount of hate and malice hidden within those slitted pupils. Why, your father had plenty of enemies, the most prominent being Iwa, and they would stop at nothing to kill or capture you if they found out about your heritage. Hiruzen replied. Did I ask you why you didn't tell Iwa? I ask you why you didn't tell me. I wondered all my life who my parents were and if they were proud of me or hated me like the rest of the villagers. And you knew all along but didn't tell me. Naruto snarled as he picked up the Hokage by his robes. I'm so sorry, Naruto. Just tell me if I can do anything at all to make it up to you. Hiruzen said in a voice filled with remorse and shame, causing Naruto to drop him back in his chair. Tell me who my mother is, give me a ninja status and give me my inheritance, and maybe, just maybe I may forgive you, but I will never forget this. Naruto's voice returned to normal as the swirling chakra vanished and the killing intent and crushing force were retracted. Your mother's name was Uzumaki Kushina. She was the second Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. And just swipe your blood across the portrait of your father. There is a blood seal on it and it contains your family inheritance. Collect your headband from me tomorrow morning. Hiruzen replied after a slight hesitation. Naruto did as he said and bit his thumb before swiping it across his father's picture, causing several scrolls to pop out of it. One more thing. Please include Akane-chan into my team. Oh, and keep all that happened here to yourselves. I'll see you at the team selections in 3 days' time, Iruka-sensei, Yane. Naruto grabbed Akane and they both disappeared into a shadow portal. Hokage-sama, is the Yondaime really Naruto's father? Iruka asked hesitantly. Yes, I am afraid so. Please keep what has happened here to yourself and you are not to reveal it to anyone on pain of death. You're dismissed, Iruka. Hiruzen sighed as Iruka gave a curt nod and vanished in a shunshin, body fair. With Naruto and Akane appeared out of a shadow portal directly in front of the Namikaze estate's gates. He turned towards the snickering demoness with a smirk. Hey, I knew it. My little act caused the old sap to feel guilty enough to cave into my demands almost instantly, Naruto said. Who knew that the Hokage was such an emotional old fool? Akane snickered before she was pulled into it by Naruto. She smirked as he pulled away. And I like the new you, so much more spontaneous and demonic. Well, why don't I show you how much more demonic I can be? Naruto whispered huskily into her ear, sending a pleasant shiver through her spine. He reached out to push the gate open but recoiled in surprise as a jolt shot through his arm. Damn, I forgot about the seal. Naruto bit his thumb again before swiping it on the seal matrix that appeared on the gate. It glowed yellow for a while before lighting up in the green. Naruto scooped up Akane bridal style and kicked open the gate, which automatically closed and locked behind the pair as they entered the estate. Naruto admired the triple-story house as he carried Akane up to the second floor. The house was well maintained despite being empty for the past 12 years. Must have been some kind of seal either dear old dad or mom invented. Naruto thought as he walked past multiple rooms until he found the one he had been looking for, the master bedroom. What do you say we christen our new home Akaneheim? Naruto growled playfully as he deposited the demoness onto the king-sized bed. I say I like the way you think, Naru-kun. Akane smirked seductively as she dragged Naruto into it and started removing his clothes. Life just got a whole lot better, Naruto thought with a grin. Come on, Akane-chan, we wouldn't want to be late for the all-important team selections now, would we? Naruto shouted sarcastically. Of course we wouldn't. Now how do I look? Akane asked as she came down the stairs and did a little twirl. She wore a crimson tank top with the kanji for Vixen on the front and tight black jeans. She wore black fingerless gloves with the left one reaching up to her elbow. Her hair fell freely down her back and she chose to tie her forehead protector around her left bicep instead. Just as beautiful, why and deadly as always. Naruto replied with a grin as he gave her a peck on the. He wore a form-fitting black t-shirt with a white laughing skull on the front and black jeans as well. He wore metal-plated black fingerless gloves and chose to tie his forehead protector around his left bicep as well. Ah, you always know what to say. Akane cooed as the couple left the Namikaze estate and made their way to the academy, where team selections were taking place. On the way there, both of them caused heads to turn as they walked down a street. The males were wondering who the beautiful and why redhead was while the females were discussing about the handsome and feral-looking blonde. I wonder how funny their reactions will be when they realize that I'm the demon brat and you're the Kyuubi no Yoko. Naruto whispered to his companion. Probably something involving mass panic and screaming about killing the demon brat and his whore. Akane snickered at the image in her mind. Well, I see the academy ahead. Shall we see what team we are on, my dear? Naruto grinned at the demoness. Why, I believe we should. Akane replied with a matching grin as they walked towards the academy. In Iruka's class, Iruka sighed as he watched his class interact with each other. He had no idea how 3/4 of the class were going to make it as a shinobi. Out of the entire class, he could only sort out a few that actually deserved and could make it as a shinobi. Nara Shikamaru, Akamichi Choji, Aburame Shino, Inazuka Kiba, and Uchiha Sasuke. That's about all, and even these few have some problems to sort out. Iruka frowned slightly. Shikamaru is a genius but is lazy like all the males of his clan. Choji is strong and talented but is too kind for his own good. Shino has to open up more. Kiba is too brash and headstrong, and Sasuke, well, I don't even know where to begin with him. Iruka glanced over the rest of the class. Haruno Sakura, extreme fangirl syndrome and only passed the test barely thanks to her book smarts and her mother being on the council, Iruka thought as he observed the pink-haired girl with an oversized forehead. Yamanaka Ino, Falls into fangirl category as well, though much better than Sakura. Has the potential to surpass her father if only she trained harder, Iruka thought as he looked at the blonde-haired girl. Hyuga Hinata, not a fangirl. Okay, still a fangirl, but of a different person, too shy and lacks confidence, also too kind for her own good. Iruka mused as he looked at the Hyuga heiress. I just hope their Junin senseis can knock their bad habits out of them. Oh well. Time for an announcement. Iruka sighed as he discreetly performed hand seals under his desk. Shut up and get back to your seats. Iruka shouted using the demon head enlargement technique, causing the class to scramble for their seats and quiet down immediately. Alright class, today we have 2 extra participants in the team selections, and before you complain, they have been approved by Hokage-sama himself, so if you have a problem take it up with him. Iruka said, causing the few students that looked ready to protest to settle back down with a grumble. You 2 can come in now. The class looked at the door in silence as it slowly swung open and 2 students walked in. Almost the entire class blushed at the 2 figures that walked in. The males were staring, some were drooling, at the red-haired beauty that walked in, while the females were ogling. Also some were drooling at the handsome male. Class, I would like to introduce you to Uzumaki Naruto and Uzumaki Akane, Iruka announced before bracing himself. Nani? The entire class roared in shock and surprise. Well, everyone except Shino and Shikamaru, with the former just raising an eyebrow and the latter just being too lazy to care. Iruka-sensei, what is Naruto Baka doing here? He failed the genin exams, remember? Sakura screeched like the howler monkey she was descended from. Well, he passed a secret test made by Hokage-sama himself. Iruka was interrupted by Naruto himself. Mizuki was actually a traitor who used me to steal the forbidden scroll of seals from the Hokage Tower, but I stopped him after I figured it out, and the old man promoted me to genin for that. Naruto explained in one breath. Naruto Baka, stop lying. There's no way you could win against a chunin. Sakura moved to punch him, but Naruto merely yawned and sidestepped before grabbing her by the hair and throwing her across the room and into the back wall. Everyone gaped at him, not at his strength but for flinging his Sakura-chan across the room and into a wall. What Naruto said is true, and can someone please get Sakura out of the wall? Iruka sighed and rubbed his temple. The day had just started and he already felt a headache forming. Yo Naruto, you didn't tell me you had a super hot sister, Kiba shouted as he eyed Akane. Akane-chan isn't my sister, she is my mate, so stop eyeing her unless you want me to rip out your eyeballs and shove them up your ass. Naruto growled at him. Oh shit, sorry about that, man. Kiba apologized immediately because he was from the Inuzuka clan and they knew not to take another person's mate, especially a friend's. Mate. A timid voice squeaked out, causing the class to turn and look at the source, which turned out to be Hinata, who blushed from being the center of attention. Yes, my mate, as in my life companion, the person who I sleep with and eventually bear my children. Do I need to explain further? Naruto clarified. And no, and Naruto-kun H has a G girlfriend A, and H he already s slept W with H her. Hinata felt tears threaten her vision as she rose from her seat and ran out of the room crying. Any more questions? Naruto asked as if nothing had happened. Naruto Baka, how dare you treat Hinata like that? She loved you since the academy started and you just dumped her aside. Sakura screeched, having forgotten that Naruto had flung her across the room. So? Naruto replied uncaringly. What do you mean so? Sakura screeched even louder, causing everyone to cover their ears in pain. First off, Haruno, stop screeching like a monkey or I swear I will rip out your vocal box and send you home to your stupid mother piece by piece. Naruto snarled as he glared at her and released a small amount of his killing intent at her. Sakura paled and gulped nervously but nodded her head. Good. Now I ask you why when I ask you for a date before, you never accept and hit me instead. Naruto looked at her intently. I love Sasuke-kun and I don't love you. Sakura stammered out, unsure if that would be the correct answer. Correct. So why should I accept her so-called love when I don't love her back? More importantly, why didn't she tell me before? I'm sure everyone noticed that I am an orphan and how the villagers ignore me, so why didn't she offer me her companionship when I needed it, huh? Tell me, what kind of love is that? Naruto's voice turned demonic towards the end as he recalled all the times he was lonely and nobody was there to help him or comfort him. Calm down, Naru-kun. We don't want to scare the cute little genins. Akane whispered into his ear. Naruto took a deep breath and let his rage subside. Thanks Akane-chan. Let's go take a seat, shall we? Naruto walked to the back of the class and sat in the empty seat beside Shikamaru, and Akane just plopped down on his lap, causing many of the males in the class to grumble about lucky bastards. Yo Naruto. What's with the change? Shikamaru asked lazily as he lifted his head from the table slightly to turn and look at him. Felt like it. Naruto replied with a shrug. Oh, troublesome, Shikamaru mumbled as he went back to sleep while Naruto just ran his hands through Akane's hair as Iruka called out the different teams. He listened absent-mindedly. Team 7 will consist of Uchiha Sasuke, HN, Haruno Sakura. Cha true love prevails over all. Hey no fair Iruka-sensei. Why does Forehead Girl get to be with Sasuke-kun? Shut up. The teams were decided by Hokage-sama, so complain to him if you've got a problem. And the final member is Sai. Your Junin-sensei is Hitaki Kakashi. Naruto looked around the room and spotted an extremely pale-skinned boy wearing tight-fitting clothes. He just couldn't help but comment. The brooding king of the emos, Banshee McFlatchest and a closet gay. Damn, I pity the poor sap that has to teach you, Naruto said with a grin, causing Akane and the majority of the class to snicker. So says the failure of a ninja. Sasuke retorted with his signature smirk, causing his fan club to swoon. Cha Sasuke-kun is right, Naruto baka. Sakura stared at Sasuke with hearts for eyes. Shut up. Naruto, stop antagonizing them, Iruka shouted. Whatever you say, sensei. Naruto replied indifferently as he continued playing with Akane's hair, earning a grateful purr from said demoness. Team 8 will consist of Inuzuka Kiba, Aburame Shino and Hyuga Hinata. Your Junin-sensei is Yuhi Kurenai. Will someone find Hinata and tell her? Team 9 is still active from last year, so Team 10 will be Nara Shikamaru, Akamichi Choji and Yamanaka Ino. Your Junin-sensei is Sarutobi Asuma. What? I get stuck with Lazy Boy and the fat kid, Ino shouted. I am not fat, just chubby. Troublesome. Shut up. Now Team 11 will consist of Uzumaki Naruto and Uzumaki Akane only. Your Junin-sensei is Mitarashi Anko. Iruka said, but was interrupted again by Sasuke this time. Hey, why does the Dobi get special treatment but I, Uchiha Sasuke and Elite, don't? Sasuke demanded, causing Naruto to snort in amusement. If the Uchiha clan is so great, then where the are they? Oh, that's right, your brother killed them all single-handedly. Elite's my ass. Naruto smirked at the look of rage that crossed Sasuke's face. How dare you speak of my clan in that manner? I'll show you the power of the Uchiha clan, Sasuke shouted as he ran through several hand seals. Kaden. Gukakyu no Jutsu, fire release, grand fireball technique. Sasuke shot a huge ball of fire right at Naruto before Iruka could stop him. Naruto just held up one hand. Hado number 33. Sukatsui. Hado number 33. Blue fire, crash down. Naruto whispered as head-sized ball of blue fire shot from his palm and impacted against the larger fireball and cancelled it out. Everyone in the class gaped again. They had just seen Naruto use an unknown technique without any hand seals, and it managed to cancel out a Gukakyu no Jutsu. Sasuke, stand down this instance or I will send you to Hokage-sama for attacking a fellow Konoha shinobi. Iruka shouted once he snapped out of his stupor, causing Sasuke to sneer at him but sat back down. Now there is an hour interval before your Junin-senseis arrive, so you can go get something to eat before reporting back to the academy. Sure thing, sensei. Naruto grinned as he scooped up Akane bridal style and sank into a shadow portal. Shikamaru's eyes widened in surprise as he saw this but decided to question Naruto later. Hokage's office. The Junin-senseis were gathered around the Sandame's crystal ball and had witnessed the entire scene take place. A few were muttering about the demon brat speaking bad about the Uchihas. Hokage-sama, it is clear that the demon brat is out to make trouble for Uchiha-sama. You should suspend his shinobi license immediately, a random Junin shouted. He will do no such thing. If anyone deserves to have their shinobi license revoked, it should be that Uchiha brat. A voice shouted from the back. Everyone turned around to see Anko leaning against the wall whilst biting on a dango stick. Ah, Anko, I see you made it. Hiruzen smiled kindly at her. Whatever, old man. So those two were the ones you told me about. Anko walked towards the crystal ball, which had paused at the scene of Naruto using an unknown attack. Yes, I trust you don't have any problems, Hiruzen asked. None at all. Now if you excuse me, I have to go greet my team. Anko smirked as she vanished in a swirl of leaves. The rest of the Junin except one filed out of the office. Kakashi, don't you have a team as well? Hiruzen looked at the tall, silver-haired masked Junin, who looked at the clock on the wall. Yes, but I still have 3 hours to go. Kakashi drawled lazily, causing the old Hokage to sweat drop at the reply. Kakashi looked at him seriously with his exposed eye. Hokage-sama, why wasn't Uzumaki Naruto placed on my team even though I requested him? There are 2 reasons for me doing so, the first being something occurred on the night of Mizuki's betrayal that completely changed Naruto, as you would have noticed. And before you ask, I am not allowed to tell you what happened. The second reason is that both Naruto and Anko had lead difficult lives, and I hoped that by placing them together, they will find something akin to comfort in each other. Hiruzen puffed on his pipe as he saw Kakashi think about it. While that is true, I wanted to train Minato-sensei's child, but instead you stuck me with, and I quote, the brooding king of the emos, Banshee McFlatchest and a closet gay. Kakashi shivered slightly at the last one. I understand how you feel, Kakashi, but the council has me overruled on the decision that you are to train the Uchiha, and you saw what would happen if Naruto is on the same team as him. Hiruzen gestured to the frozen image on the crystal ball. Besides, I want you to keep your eye on Sai. I believe that he is a member of Danzo's Root organization. Root, huh? What do you want me to do? Kakashi asked as he leaned against the wall behind him with his arms crossed in front of his chest. Just report any suspicious behavior and keep an eye on the Uchiha as well. Report to me if his conduct becomes too aggressive. Hiruzen said as he took another puff. Understood, Hokage-sama. Kakashi saluted before leaving via Shunshin. Back in the class, Naruto observed the rowdy class from his seat but groaned as Akane shifted in his lap. He grabbed her by the waist to stop her from making any unnecessary movements. Stop moving, Akane-chan. Naruto whispered into her ear. Fine, fun killer. Akane pouted, but Naruto just chuckled and turned her around so she was facing him and started a full-blown makeout session. The majority of the class watched with matching blushes as the couple continued, not paying them any attention. A few had different thoughts though. How dare that Dobi insult the might of the Uchihas? I have to find a way to pay him back. I know. I will take his girlfriend from him and her right in front of him. Besides, she is both beautiful and looks strong, a perfect candidate to revive the Uchiha clan with. Sasuke plotted within his own head. Stupid Naruto Baka insulting Sasuke-kun and his greatness. How dare he insult Sasuke-sama? We will beat him up, cha. Get back in your hole, you stupid split personality. Sakura argued with herself. That stupid must have influenced my Naruto-kun into sleeping with her. Everyone knows that Naruto-kun belongs to me and I loved him way longer than that stupid red-haired slut. Hinata growled angrily inside her mind as she watched the two continue their makeout session. Troublesome, but could you two stop? The Junin senseis are about to arrive. The pair turned to a lightly blushing Shikamaru. Why? They asked in unison, causing Shikamaru to blink. Never mind. Troublesome people. Shikamaru sighed as he placed his head back down on the desk just as the Junin senseis came in. Team 10, meet me at the barbecue restaurant in 10 minutes. A Junin with a beard and smoking a cigarette said before leaving the room. Team 8, meet me at training ground 16. A raven-haired, red-eyed beauty said, but before she could leave, a tan blur broke in through the window and a black banner unfurled. On the banner was written, the Y and single, Mitarashi Anko. And the tan blur revealed itself to be Anko indeed. Kurenai just sighed at her friend's antics before leaving the room. I want my team to meet me at the local dango shop in 5 minutes, and if you're not there within that time frame, you will have to pay for my meal. Anko laughed as she jumped out through another window and shattering it in the process. She seems like a nice woman. Akane broke the silence, causing everyone except Naruto to look at her as if she were mad. I think so too. Now let's get to that dango shop before I end up paying for her meal. Naruto said as the pair sunk into another shadow portal. Several seconds passed before Sakura realized something. Where the hell is our sensei? Dango shop. Anko appeared at the entrance of her favorite dango shop and walked in. She looked at the clock on the wall and saw that she had arrived in a minute. Should take them about another minute or so to get here, she mused before a familiar voice interrupted her thoughts. Yo, Anko-chan. What took you so long? Anko turned around to see that Naruto and Akane were already seated at a table, happily munching on their food, causing her to blink and stare. How the hell did you two get here before me? Anko asked as she sat down beside opposite the two. Trade secret. Naruto smirked at the pout on Anko's face before she shrugged and grabbed a stick of dango and bit into it. So the Junin Sensei handbook says that we have to get to know each other better. Tell me your name, likes, dislikes, hobbies and dreams. Anko explained and pointed at Akane to suggest that she start first. My name is Uzumaki Akane. My likes include foxes, Naru-kun, the color red and watching my enemies suffer. My dislikes include the Uchihas, their keke genke and assholes. Hobbies are training in Ing Naru-kun. Dreams for the future are to bear Naru-kun's children and kill a certain Uchiha. Akane growled the last part, causing Anko to grin at her likes, blush at her hobbies and looked confused at her dreams. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. My likes include Akane-chan, Shinigami, foxes, the color black, my sword and watching my enemies suffer. My dislikes are the similar to Akane-chan's plus the majority of the village. Hobbies are training in Ing Akane-chan. Dreams for the future are to help Akane-chan accomplish hers, get a big family and meet the Shinigami. Naruto winked at Anko as he told her that he wanted a big family, causing her to blush slightly. Alright. My name is Mitarashi Anko. My likes include snakes, torturing people, blood, dango, sake and watching my enemies suffer. My dislikes include assholes, rapists, ISDS and my ex-sensei. Hobbies are torturing prisoners and eating dango. My dream is to kill my ex-sensei in the most painful and brutal way possible. Anko finished her introduction with a grin. I think we are going to get along just fine. Naruto smirked as Akane nodded her head in agreement. I think so too. Now I want you to meet me at Training Grounds 44 first thing tomorrow morning for a test. Anko told them as they left the shop and went their separate ways. Akane yawned as she walked with Naruto, who turned to her with a look of concern. You must be tired after today since you're still recovering your power. Why don't you head back and rest first since I have some things to do? Naruto told the fox demoness, who gave him a look of gratitude as she vanished in a swirl of flames. Naruto whistled as he walked down the street before suddenly flinging 3 kunai behind him. He turned around to see Konohamaru emerging from behind a large piece of paper painted to look like a fence. He. Very impressive to have seen through my cover. It seems the rumors about you are true, Konohamaru said as he emerged from behind the paper. Great, him again. Naruto sighed inwardly as he recalled what had happened that caused them to cross paths. Flashback no jutsu. Yo old man, I'm here to submit mine and Akane-chan's shinobi registration forms. Naruto entered the Hokage's office through the window. Oh Naruto-kun, right on time. Just hand them over for me to check. Hiruzen chuckled as he took the 2s of paper from him and read through them. At least your new attitude works better for your shinobi career. I swear you would have messed up your picture if you had your old attitude. I would have, but I'm not the old me anymore. Naruto replied seriously as he leaned against the wall beside the Hokage's desk. Right. Everything seems to be in order except why does Akane have your surname? Hiruzen asked as he read through the sheet of paper again. Akane-chan doesn't have a surname, so I gave her mine since we are mates. Naruto shrugged. Won't that seem suspicious to your classmates? Hiruzen pointed out, to which Naruto just snorted. Like I give a damn what they think. Just pass me the headbands and I'll be on my way. Naruto walked over to the Hokage's desk and accepted the 2 headbands that the Sandaime took out of a drawer. However, the door busted open before he could leave and a young boy wearing a helmet ran into the room wielding a shuriken. Fight me, old geezer. The boy shouted but ended up tripping over his own scarf and falling on the floor, causing Naruto to burst into laughter and the Sandaime to tilt his hat to cover his embarrassment. Itai. Who set a trap? The boy asked as he rubbed his helmeted head. At that moment a Junin wearing shades ran into the room. Are you alright? And there isn't a trap anywhere. The Junin shouted out before he noticed Naruto. The Kyuubi brat, how I despise him. I know. You are the one who set the trap. The boy exclaimed as he pointed at a laughing Naruto. You tripped over your own scarf, you moron. Naruto hoisted him up by his shirt. Hey. I demand that you let the honorable grandson of Hokage-sama go. The Junin shouted. So this is the Konohamaru you told me about, huh, old man? Naruto glanced between the Hokage and Konohamaru. Now that you know, let me go. Konohamaru struggled to break free but inwardly thought. Now that he knows who I am, he won't dare to hurt me. He's just like Ebisu and everyone else. You think I care? Naruto slapped Konohamaru upside the head, causing the young boy to clutch the spot in pain. He could be your freaking grandmother and it wouldn't make a damn difference to me. How dare you strike the honorable grandson? Ebisu shouted in outrage while the Sandame sighed. Whatever. See you around, old man. Naruto jumped out the window at the end of his sentence. Konohamaru stared at the window whilst thinking. He's different than the rest. Flashback no Jutsu Kai. Hey, I'll make you my boss. Konohamaru's voice knocked him out of his recollection. What? Naruto blinked as he tried to process what the hell the kid was talking about. And in exchange, you have to teach me how to defeat Gramps, Konohamaru shouted in excitement. Listen kid. I have more important things to do than train you. Naruto growled impatiently. Shit, the signature has started to move closer towards the village. Come on please? Konohamaru begged on both knees. Fine. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Clone, I want you to teach him. Naruto pointed at Konohamaru, who had stars for eyes at seeing the jutsu, before he took off across the rooftops. Damn, where did that stupid signature go now? Naruto paused on a tree branch just outside of Konoha. Shit. Naruto leapt away from the tree as a huge white monster with a strange mask and a hole in its chest smashed into it. He backflipped in midair and landed on another tree branch. So this is a hollow? Damn, you're ugly. The hollow just got back up and roared at him. Black chakra circled around Naruto and enveloped him before dying down to reveal that he was wearing the outfit he had on the night of the Mizuki incident. Now let's see how much of a bad boy you really are. Naruto grinned as he drew his katana and twirled it around once before settling into a sword stance. The hollow roared and charged him on all fours. Naruto noted that it was surprisingly fast for a creature of its size. Naruto blocked a punch with his arms, but the force of the blow sent him crashing into a tree trunk. He coughed as he climbed out of the debris. Note to self, don't try that again. Naruto groaned. The hollow roared and tried long swiping attacks with its claws. Naruto dodged or parried the attacks with his katana. Naruto growled and switched into a different stance as the hollow charged him. Kuroryu no Sume. Black Dragon's Claw. Naruto flashed past the hollow and sheathed his blade as the hollow dropped dead in two separate pieces. I have to thank the Shinigami for all those techniques just from absorbing a soul shard. Naruto grinned, but that slipped away as he suddenly realized that he was surrounded on all sides by 5 different hollows. He discreetly made a cross-shaped hand seal. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. And 5 clones emerged from the smoke and engaged each hollow as Naruto leapt back several paces and held up both his hands and started channeling his Ryotsu as he chanted. Sanzai Suru, Kimono no Hon, Sento, Kosho, Katetsu no Sharin. Ugokeba Kase, Tomari Basora. Yarutsu Nero ga Kojo ni Machiru. Sprinkled on the bones of the beast. Sharp tower, red crystal, steel ring. Move and become the wind, stop and become the calm. The sound of warring spears fills the empty castle. Naruto chanted as yellow Ryotsu formed an orb in his hands. Hado number 63. Raikoho, Thunder Roar Cannon. Naruto shouted as a massive blast of lightning shot out of his palms and into the group of hollows that were busy fighting his clones. The resulting explosion tore up the ground as the clones dispersed and Naruto watched as the Kido spell disintegrate the hollows. I have to practice using Ryotsu some more, that spell really took some effort. Naruto said as he panted slightly from using such a high-level Kido. He hopped down from the tree branch and started walking back to Konoha. I better get some rest since I have to fight Enko-chan tomorrow morning. Next day at Training Grounds 44 aka Forest of Death. Naruto yawned and stretched as he and Akane waited for their team's sensei to arrive. They didn't have to wait long as the tan blur known as Enko dropped down in front of them. I'm so glad my genin knows what it means to be on time, unlike a certain tardy Junin I happen to know. Enko mumbled the last part, causing Kakashi to sneeze somewhere in Konoha. So what sort of test are we doing today? Naruto asked. It's supposed to be sort of test that is testing your ability to work as a team, but looking at you two, I say you have no problems doing that. Enko replied with a wink, causing the pair to smirk. So I'm just going to test your skills in a 2-on-1 spar that ends when I call it. So whenever you're ready. Naruto vanished from the spot and appeared next to Enko, who blinked in surprise but quickly blocked the right hook that was aimed at her face. Akane dashed in and attempted a leg sweep, but Enko jumped over it and threw kick at Naruto, who blocked it with his free hand. Akane sent a snap kick at Anko's chin, but the snake mistress just tilted her head back slightly and grabbed her leg and threw her at Naruto. Naruto grunted and skidded back slightly as he caught Akane in his arms and placed her back on her feet. He looked back at Anko, who was smirking at them. "You got to do better than that if you want to touch this lady," Anko taunted. Naruto just grinned as he shot at Anko and threw a barrage of kicks and punches at her, which she either evaded or blocked. Akane joined the fray and timed her punches and kicks with Naruto's own, so they alternated attacks. Finally, a fist from Naruto smashed into Anko's stomach, causing her to gasp and stumble back slightly. "Much better. Now let's see some techniques." Anko smirked as she ran through several hand seals and slammed her palms into the ground, causing a seal matrix to appear. Kuchiyose no Jutsu. Summoning technique. A significantly large cloud of smoke filled the clearing. Naruto and Akane tensed as the smoke cleared to reveal a giant black and purple snake. The snake hissed and shot forward like a bolt of lightning. Naruto and Akane barely jumped out of the way in time. "Damn, this snake is fast," Naruto commented as he flipped over another lightning fast strike. Akane jumped into the air over the snake and finished her hand seals. Kaden. Gonkyu. Fire release. Roaring flame sphere. Akane inhaled and shot out a meteor-sized fireball that slammed into the snake. The snake was pushed further into the ground before the sphere exploded in a huge explosion. Naruto whistled at the crater that had formed thanks to Akane's technique, while Anko just gaped. It was a freaking A-rank technique," Anko exclaimed before blocking a mid-air spinning kick from Naruto, who shifted his weight and twisted his body into a dropping axe kick. Anko blocked it with her other hand, but Naruto grinned as he whispered. Boom. Anko's eyes widened as she pushed away from the rapidly expanding clone, but the explosion still managed to hit her, sending her skidding and rolling across the forest floor. Anko coughed to get the smoke from her lungs and looked up to see Naruto and Akane running through two separate sets of hand seals. She didn't know what they were doing, but it couldn't hurt to be safe, so she started hand seals for a defensive ninjutsu. Kaden. Zukaku. Fire release. Intelligent hard work. Akane spat out a small compressed fireball. Futon. Atsugai. Wind release. Pressure damage. Naruto spat out a compressed sphere of wind chakra. Anko cursed as she tried to complete the hand seals as fast as possible as she saw the wind and fire techniques combine into a raging firestorm that raced towards her. Doden. Doryuheki. Earth release. Earth-style wall. Anko slammed both palms onto the ground. A large stone wall erupted from the ground just in time to block the combination technique. Naruto and Akane watched from a tree branch as their combined technique smashed into the stone wall. The firestorm split in half and traveled to either side of the wall. "You think we overdid it with that?" Naruto asked Akane, who just shrugged in reply. Senejashu. Hidden shadow snake hands. A voice called out from behind them, and the duo found their hands restrained to their bodies by snakes coiling around them. They turned around to see a grinning Anko leaning against a tree trunk with her hands extended towards them. "Looks like I've caught you." Bakudo number 4. Heinawa. Crawling rope. Naruto's voice called out from behind her, and Anko found herself entangled by an energy rope before Naruto walked up behind her. "No, it looks like I've caught you," Naruto whispered directly into her ear. Anko shivered slightly as his hot breath tickled her ear and looked back at the two she captured, only for them to erupt in smoke. "Kage Bushins, huh? Alright, you two passed the test, so can you release the technique now?" Anko asked him. "What if I don't want to?" Naruto replied teasingly as he hugged her from behind, causing her to blush slightly as she could feel his rock-hard muscles. "Don't you already have a girlfriend?" Anko gasped as Naruto ed her neck. "Akane-chan is my mate and she said that I am expected to have a harem." Naruto trailed off suggestively as Anko looked for Akane and found her eating a bucket of popcorn as she sat on a tree branch. "Oh, did she now? And you thought I would be interested, why?" Anko asked as she tried her best not to moan as Naruto caressed her body gently. Let's see, shall we? We both are hated for something we can't control. The villagers despise us and call us names. We both had our lives screwed over by a seal, and most importantly, we both know what it feels like to be abandoned and lonely. Need I say more?" Naruto's words caused Anko to tear up as she remembered how Orochimaru had abandoned her and how the villagers called her the snake, and the loneliness she felt as nobody trusted her. "No matter how hard we try, there will always be doubt in their hearts, but I know how it feels like. The stares, the whispers behind your back, the disgust in their eyes. Naruto released the binding spell, but his words had taken effect already as Anko clenched her fists as tears rolled down her face. Why? Why don't they accept me? I tried so hard to prove my loyalty, Anko whispered softly as Naruto gently stroked her hair in a calming motion. It's all right, Anko-chan. Who needs their approval? I accept you for who you are. I don't see you as Orochimaru's ex-student or the snake, but as Mitarashi Anko, a beautiful and deadly kunoichi. Naruto said in a loving manner. Wow, Naru-kun could really get a side career in acting. Ooh, he's going in for the kill. Akane thought as she munched on her popcorn. And if that doesn't convince you, I can always remove this little seal from you. Naruto rubbed the spot where her curse seal was causing Anko to gasp. Why, you can really do that? Anko asked with hope in her eyes. Of course I can. Naruto replied. Please, remove it. I'll do anything, I'll be your slave, you can me whenever you want, but please, just remove it. Anko pleaded. All I want is for you to accept my offer of being my next mate. Naruto tilted her head up and she looked into his slitted amethyst pupils. I accept, Naruto-kun. Anko whispered, causing Naruto to smile as he leaned down slightly and captured her in a. Good, now this might sting a bit. Naruto told her as he channeled his Yuki into his fangs and bit down onto her curse seal and started draining the soul shard of Orochimaru out of it. Naruto pulled his fangs out and spat into the grass and watched as the curse seal slowly fade and finally disappeared. It's gone. Arigato, Naruto-kun. Anko embraced him as tears of joy ran down her face. I'm finally free of my burden, thank you so much. Shish. It's all right, Anko-chan. You have to report to the Hokage soon about the test, come on. Naruto smiled as Anko wiped away her tears with her sleeve. That's my girl. Hokage's office. 5 minutes later, Sarutobi Hiruzen puffed on his pipe as he looked over the Junin that have once again gathered inside his office. They had just returned from testing their team and Kakashi was surprisingly on time for once. Alright, I want your reports on your team, the Sandame ordered. Team 1 failed, they were practically useless, Genma reported. Team 2 failed, they spent the entire time arguing instead of finding me, Aoba said. Team 3 failed, they have no concept of teamwork at all, Hayate coughed. The Hokage listened as the Junin senseis of teams 4 to 6 all reported failures and finally everyone tensed as Kakashi stepped forward. Team 7 passed, albeit reluctantly. Kakashi sighed. Mind elaborating on that? Hiruzen asked. Well, where to begin? Sasuke is a revenge-driven, egoistic, arrogant genin who expects everyone to bow to the might of the Uchiha clan. Sakura is his useless lapdog that has no skills whatsoever and only fawns over the Uchiha 24/7. They only passed because Sai gave Sakura some of his lunch after she was tied to the training post. Kakashi explained. Very well. Please proceed, Kurenai-san. Hiruzen told the Genjutsu mistress. Team 8 passed, they could use a little work though, Kurenai replied. Team 10 passed, they may not get along outside of combat but when in battle they work just as well as their fathers, Asuma told his father. Team 11 passed with flying colors. Anko smirked at the curious looks on her friends and the Hokage's faces. What did your team do to warrant such praise? Hiruzen asked. He knew about it but he couldn't let them know that he knew about Naruto. First off, I rank their taijutsu at about high chunin to low junin rank and their teamwork is superb. Both showed they could perform B-rank ninjutsu while Akane did an A-rank technique. They also combined a wind and fire technique that created a huge firestorm. Naruto was able to capture me with an unknown binding technique that ended the test. Anko recounted, causing several different reactions in the room. I would expect nothing less from the new Naruto and Kyuubi. Hiruzen smiled slightly behind his hands that he used to cover his mouth. I'm glad that Sensei's son is already so strong, but I thought the academy records listed him as dead last. How did he change so much over a few days? Oh well, that isn't for me to wonder, at least he got himself a hot girlfriend. Kakashi released a perverted giggle inside his head. Ha! The snake must have felt sorry for the demon brat so she made up that story. We all know that the demon brat was dead last in the academy. A random Junin voiced his opinion, causing several killing intents to be aimed at him, and Anko held a kunai that was pointed at his groin. You can insult me, but the moment you insult my genin is when you have crossed the line, so I recommend you think before you open your mouth lest you lose something important next time. Anko hissed with narrowed eyes at the man. who nodded vigorously in fear of his privates. When did Ko-chan get so overprotective over some genin, the resident Jinchuriki no less? Kurenai mused as she saw her friend's strange behavior. He. I knew placing Naruto and her together would have positive results. The Hokage chuckled to himself. Thank you all for your reports. Please report first thing tomorrow morning with your genin squad to collect your first mission. Hiruzen dismissed the gathered Junin. With Naruto, Akane and Anko, so how did the meeting go, Anko-chan? Naruto asked the snake mistress in the tree beside them, causing her to pout and jump down in front of them. How did you know I was there? Anko asked. Enhanced senses. Naruto tapped his nose with a smirk. So how was it? It was alright. Some punk insulted you, so I threatened him with a kunai to his goods, but everything else was alright. Anko chuckled at the memory, causing Naruto and Akane to sweat drop. So who else passed their tests? Naruto asked. Kakashi's team passed barely, Nai-chan's team and Asuma's team. Anko listed off. I sort of hoped that the Uchiha would fail. Akane sighed. Guess you can't always get what you want. Cheer up, Akane-chan. Look at it this way, now the Uchiha has a higher rate of dying on his missions. Naruto smirked as a grin crept onto Akane's face. Oh, speaking of missions, Old Man Hokage asked us to report in tomorrow morning for our first mission. Anko informed them. We're not going to do those lame-ass D-rank missions, are we? Naruto's eyebrow twitched at the thought of painting a fence or chasing after some stupid cat. Hey, who do you think I am? Mitarashi Anko will never do D-ranks and neither will her awesome team. Anko pumped her fist into the air, causing Naruto to chuckle and Akane to giggle. Hey Anko-chan. How is the place you're staying at? Naruto asked seriously, causing Anko to flinch slightly, but that was all Naruto needed to see. Pack your stuff. You're coming to leave with Akane and me at the estate. Estate? Anko echoed. Oh right, I haven't told you yet. Naruto sighed as he began his long-ass narration of the events that had transpired the night of the Mizuki betrayal all the way till the moment